Okay, I'm going to bring this meeting to order, and we are going to adjourn to closed session.
Public comment on closed session.
I'm sorry, is there any public comment on our closed session? Nope, seeing none. Okay. Okay, I'll bring this meeting back to open session. We have no announcements from closed session. Let's all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Luke Foster and Guy Garcia are both out on vacation. And notice to the public. Any member of the public wishing to address the governing board on a topic within the subject matter jurisdiction of the district but not on the agenda may do so during the public comment period identified in this agenda. By law, subjects not on the agenda cannot be acted upon by the board except to briefly respond, clarify, or refer to staff for review and presentation at a future meeting. The board president will recognize you for public comment on matters on the agenda at the appropriate time. Okay, no correspondence. Nothing on the consent. Do we have any public comments? Seeing none. Any guests and presentations? Nope. Good. Okay, ongoing business. So I had this put on the agenda, and I think I need to table it till the next agenda, just because the information that I'm gathering is not quite ready yet.
Okay.
I requested copies of all of the purchase contracts of the properties that we bought about 10 years ago, because it came to my attention that there might be a clause in one of the contracts that says that we need to act on a part of the land that was acquired because we had some sort of easement that said that the people on that property could park there, and apparently the people aren't needing it anymore, so we have to somehow take it back. And I spoke to our realtor, Gary Archer, and he said that, you know, there's a process. And so that was last Friday, and I last spoke to him today, and he said that he would have those contracts ready for me by tomorrow, printed out. He's been on vacation, so he'll have them ready to go by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
And then the architecture, that was for remodeling the current facilities, correct?
yes. I don't need to, I don't have anything to speak on that.
Okay.
Did you want to?
I think, so can we just put this on our, talk about it and then
Yeah.
put it on our next
Sure,
agenda too?
absolutely.
So do you guys have,
I think that with the JK company that we spoke with, they wanted to make a vision plan for us that would go in phases of how to first improve, our current facility and do spatial improvements, maybe move some walls that aren't load-bearing, and do some interior beautification. We really badly need paint and carpet and flooring. And,
maybe a new color scheme?
pardon?
Maybe a new color scheme?
Yes, and a new color scheme. And he was gonna start with that, and then we were looking at the Miller Building property, and they were very excited about that, and felt like, and we had a lot of potential in our basement, in the Carnegie also. So they were the first company that we spoke to that had a lot of experience in making vision plans and phasing what the priorities would be. So, and we had a good rapport with them. They seemed very knowledgeable and seemed to understand what we were talking about. without having to explain it too much. And they felt like they knew what we needed and maybe what we could get if we improve everything and have our beautification roll into whatever the new construction or remodeling would be. So, and then their design cost, or for this whole plan, was around about the same amount as one of the design firms that just mostly did interior of commercial type businesses and didn't have any library experience. So, you know, we felt very excited about meeting these people. So I hope that answers some of your question about what we were going to do with this group.
Do we know how much they were gonna charge for the initial vision plan, where they were gonna come up with that?
Well, it looks like on the fee proposal, you
Didn't-
didn't get this? Maybe we should email it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has it itemized, the imagining, the design, and the creating, and then a total fee of $27,930.
Okay.
Okay?
And so with that fee, they would come up with a total, like how to redo the existing library, what we could possibly do with the Miller Building as far as redesign and interior as well, correct? Okay.
In different phases as budget permits, that sort of thing?
Right, so they're willing to work
Mhm.
with that
Yeah,
in mind.
okay. Is this something you needed action on tonight? Or is this something that we can maybe table for a couple weeks?
Well, we can't take action on it tonight, I don't think, without our other board members.
Hi. I think it's something that maybe could wait a couple of weeks. I did talk with Catherine, and she's been in contact with them
Okay,
and communicated the situation to them, and they were very cooperative and agreeable and still interested.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
So we
Yeah.
really wouldn't want to lose their enthusiasm.
Yeah,
okay.
agreed, yeah.
Absolutely, okay.
So for our next meeting, can we have this come with the description of what they're going to do and the cost for all the board? And then can we vote on it, whether or not we're gonna go that route? I mean, is that,
That's what we have tonight, and we had it last month in the documents on the website.
okay.
So what would be helpful usually is so for our school board meetings, we have an iPad that we have all of our documents on that we can just look at while we're here and we can make notes on and that kind of stuff. And usually for library board meetings, we get a hard packet, and we can pick it up at the library or something like that if we need to ahead of time. But usually that's how we do our documents for that, so we don't all have to print them individually before.
Or go look for them. You know, it's all, the supporting documentation comes with the agenda.
So that was always the director's responsibility, so I assume that we're all pitching in and doing what we can to fill those gaps.
Okay,
So I just assumed the board would go to the website.
Didn't even
yeah,
know.
it didn't cross my mind
Yeah.
to go to the website.
Okay.
So, okay. Yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs of what the director did, but I do know that that position did bring the supporting documents. And so are you saying at the next meeting or two before we get another interim director that you would like hard copies? Or what are you saying?
Yeah, that's traditionally we get it, although I'd like to see it beforehand, I guess, so maybe if there's,
So I guess we'll just have to maybe have a reminder that here's the link, here's where the documents are that we can look at when we get it beforehand, do you
yeah.
think?
And if
Or-
it's too
How
big, we
about
can,
an email when it gets posted with
that'd be
the
perfect,
link?
yeah. And
That
if it's
would be
too big,
perfect.
if it's a really big document, if it's a really big document, we might ask if you guys will print it for us, we can get out and pick it up just for the printing cost. If it's color and a really big document, because sometimes they're But it depends, I mean, I think on, you know, what
Okay.
everybody needs. But if you could just please send us the link and
Yeah,
say they're
I'll ask
posted.
Catherine next time for the next meeting and the posting, that she forwards the link to everybody.
Yeah, that's
That'd be
great.
great, yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
or even just make notation that there is supporting documentation on the website. That way we know to go to the website and look for it.
Yeah, I think we just didn't, we're happy to pitch in, just didn't know that there was not gonna, that it was a change.
See, and from my perspective, I thought you guys looked at that every single month, and that's where you got your documents.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Well,
That's right. Well, anyway, to answer your question, though, on this, here's their formula for their approach, their schedules, their deadlines. 6,000 to imagine, 15,000 to design, and another 6,000 to create. And they have a whole bunch of items on there.
Okay,
So if.
And this was in-
Be notified that you can go to the website right
Great.
now and you can
All right.
look at it.
Okay.
For the
Nice.
next meeting.
okay.
Absolutely.
And this was pretty much in line with the other people who came in, but they didn't have library experience, correct? And we've been
Right,
talking about this for a
right.
few
And
months.
this one was like the star of all of them. And the costs are reasonable.
Okay.
Some of them were even a little bit more expensive than these guys.
Well, and anytime you have somebody that does specifically for what the job you want, you're gonna have less change orders, you're gonna have less, fluctuation in actual price. So,
Okay.
And they're really, they do a lot of libraries, so I guess they're used to working with the money, the cash flow, the phases of how the money rolls out and how we can roll out the phase accordingly.
So I think also along with that, it might be good just for us to be able to see our facilities budget, how much money we have in reserve for that too. Just so when we make that decision, we can see what the balance will be after we take this out. That would be helpful if you could do that, possibly. Thank you.
Okay.
okay. Any questions? Any public questions? Seeing none? Okay, new business, approval of the 18-19 budget.
So, again, I think we're gonna run into the same, we don't have any of the documents. So I think we're gonna put
Let's
these up.
see, let me just see if we can, if it pulls up.
So do you have the budget documents
Have
then?
anything? No.
From last month even? No. Okay.
No, then I have this.
So,
School district budget.
I'm just trying to see. Recent meeting and files. So far, when I pulled it up, I haven't found it yet, so just 1 second. Let me click on this.
Well,
When does our budget have to be approved by?
it should have been approved last month when the meeting got canceled.
Okay, here, let me,
I think,
it's on, you can pull it up.
this is from last month.
That's fine. Oh, yeah, we'll share.
That's what-
Oh, she sent it to us.
I'm not sure how this works, but I would suggest approving this budget that was designed and presented by the last director, and it was on the agenda for last month. And then as soon as you get a new interim director, it can be revised, it can,
So let me ask this question, because when we received this budget, there was also requests for 20% raises. That's not in this budget, correct?
no, this is from last month, and there's no raises. The only thing that's in this budget is different. For the personnel cost, all it is the normal step increases for people throughout the year, that's all, and the teen librarian position.
Which probably before we can approve the budget, we need to, if that's in
We
it, we
need to
need to approve the.
Decided whether we wanted to do the teen librarian, right?
Yeah. So can we switch, before we approve the budget, can we switch to the discussion of?
Yeah, and since we're the only ones who see the budget, I mean, there isn't a commission anymore, there isn't another level of approval. I don't know that I'm gonna feel comfortable approving a budget.
So I'm not sure what Solano does, but they do need budget amounts in order to cut checks and payroll, because the system, the way it's set up, will not cut a payroll check or a vendor check unless there's a budget amount in there that's been approved by the board.
Okay.
Um,
Just give us.
I think we might, I don't know how much time, I can call Solano and find out, but when, do you have any idea when you would be able to approve it?
Well, I mean, we haven't had the item of the teen librarian position on before, right? This is the first time it's been on our agenda.
Not on the agenda per se, no.
Yeah,
Right,
it was,
so-
I think, brought up.
Yeah, it's been on before.
It was brought up when we had with, along with the raises and the changing, and there was a possibility of changing several people's titles, and that the teen librarian was on there with that. But I don't think we were ready, and I'm still not ready to change people's titles or
Right.
or job descriptions or any of that.
So we need to change the budget to take that out anyway.
So what you could do, I think, is, you could approve the budget, whatever it is, less the,
Teen librarian for right now.
yeah. And so nobody really, the only thing that, the only authority that's given for anyone to act on this budget is just the temporary signing for the payroll and vendor claims. There's no one really authorized to go out and hire new personnel and stuff
Yeah,
right
and just
now,
because this is the-
Unless it's John.
And just because this is the budget doesn't mean this is what we're spending. This is
Right, or
just what
that
we're.
it'll be
This is
executed.
just hypothetically what we're allocating toward each individual. Okay.
But if I knew for sure when you were going to get an interim director or when everyone was going to be here to approve it, but this has been kind of ongoing,
Okay.
putting it off.
I'd be okay approving the budget, if it keeps you from, holding up on on paying anything.
Okay.
I do have a question, actually.
Okay.
Under the legal service, it says 27,310. Can you explain that part to me?
Sure. Legal. What we did is we used the 9 months of expenses that we had incurred from legal in the year 17-18. This was done as of March. And we used those expenses as a run rate. So we took 9 months' worth and divided by 9 and then multiplied it by 12 to get to this amount.
And so we have actual, do we do a retainer, or do we have actual invoices for $27,000 worth of legal expenses?
We don't have actual invoices for $27,000. That's a 12 months' worth. I don't know the math in my head to
So
do backwards.
22,000, yeah, 21,000, yeah.
We have $20,000 or $22,000 worth of legal invoices.
Over a 9-month period?
Yes, and we just annualized that to
Do you-
fit into 12.
Do you know where that money went? I mean, do you know,
Legal?
yeah, I mean,
Our attorney. All of it.
So,
We have an accrual for June that I have to submit tomorrow for $8,000 for the month of June from our legal team.
okay, June makes sense.
There was a lot of, was it the family leave? There, I don't know, I don't remember all the projects.
It was in 2017, but yeah, I guess fiscal year.
17, 18.
Yeah, the fiscal year. Okay, yeah, I mean, doing research on family leave and that kind of stuff.
There was writing the printer thing when the last director swapped out, or, I mean, the current director swapped out printer contracts, and there was legal energy around that.
And it was all spent at Scott's law firm?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, if we need to get
It's all
invoices.
Scott's, yeah,
Yeah.
we have all the invoices for that, yeah.
Okay,
Okay. It's just, I think it's helpful for us to know, you
Yeah.
know, what issues we used him for, you know, I mean, the board knows when, you know, we've contacted him, but yeah, that part's just helpful. And then, the other question, for maintenance of buildings and improve, it says 53,000. Will some of that money, can some of that money go towards this vision plan? Because from the improve part?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And that's mainly the Pedro Moreno's contract, is 30,000 of that.
And that's just,
Right off the top of my head, that's one thing I can think of. But I'd have to, I don't have the analysis with me, unfortunately. I didn't bring all the,
okay.
the envision and expansion and stuff would basically come out of our fund balance available in our cash.
Yeah.
And, you know, talking about this budget, I guess you guys, since you didn't get this, we ended the year with $500,000 in surplus.
that's good.
And did that include the money that we get from Vacaville for?
It did, $40,000. And we didn't budget it, and I didn't really realize what all that was about, but
Yeah.
I saw it come in on June 29th.
Okay, so it is in this budget?
Yeah.
It's reflected in here?
Oh, it's not in this budget as revenue, because I wasn't told.
Oh, yeah, it comes in, so we should probably reflect that in our change. If we take out the teen position, we should also put in that as the same amount.
Yeah.
It's at least as a budgeted amount. So it will come every year. I know this year it was late being credited, but it's an every year thing for 40 years. It's a tax payment that they owe
Right.
us, so.
And it's $40,000?
It's $40,000, yeah. I
Okay.
think it's for 41 or 40 something.
It was
40.
even 40,000.
Even
It said a tax sharing agreement.
Yeah, it has to do with a boundary line we
Right.
redrew, yeah. So,
I kind of remembered something about that.
yeah, and it was just a little bit late coming to us this year, but it is, yeah, so I'm glad it's, yeah, came in.
So I feel, I mean, if we need some of these budgeted things going forward, I feel taking out the teen librarian for right now and making sure that we add the $40,000 in revenue into the budget, I feel like as long as we have those things, I feel like I can approve this.
Okay, yeah, I guess I feel comfortable with that too, and we can,
You know, and again, this is just a budget forecasting what we
right,
perceive our bills are gonna be.
right.
And, you know, and in the school district side, we wanna make sure that we're spending our money, that there's an ending fund balance, and we have ending fund balance in excess.
Yeah,
So-
Will we get, two questions about last year's budget, the 17-18 budget, right? Because this is the 18-19. Will we get like a
Actuals?
yeah, the actuals, will you?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's part of this package that there weren't copies of. That's where I was saying we had a $500,000 surplus.
Okay.
I have the one sheet that I brought.
Can I just look at it for just 1 second? So my hope is, along with, for our next meeting, when we decide on the vision plan and the design costs, that we have this for the whole board to see, our fund balance and all of that. And then it would be good also to see, is it too soon to get the actuals, or the books are closed for the fiscal year?
No, these are the actuals. It says preliminary on them, but it's like a day or two, but, so when June 15th, which is Sunday, when they close out the year, then the next time we meet, I would be able to have the final numbers.
Okay.
But they won't be too much different than what you're seeing right there.
Okay.
That's July 15th though, right? July, okay.
Did I say June? I'm sorry.
That's it.
So so our August meeting also, can we do the actuals as part of, maybe
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
actuals? Is that
And,
okay?
you know, I can print them out for you guys.
Yeah.
If you just want to make a note, and when you send over the agenda, that, you know, go to the website and print them out, I can do that.
Okay. If we're not going to have an interim director by then, who's?
We should.
Okay, because
well,
who's going to do the minutes
Okay.
for tonight?
Well, Caitlin's doing them right now. Just kidding.
So that's another big activity that needs to occur.
Okay.
So then in order to, because so if you guys are approving, so I'll read off the numbers and for you guys on approving this budget, less the teen, plus the tax sharing. And then that has to go in the minutes so that when you approve it next month, then that's what gets sent to Solano as the board approval
Okay.
for the budget. And the budget can always be revisited and revised anytime.
So do we have hourly employees, right? We have
Yes.
people who work hourly. So is there a way to get somebody in the library who we could pay at an hourly rate to type up minutes? I mean, could
Just
we,
sit here.
to take minutes and then type them up?
If you can find that person,
I don't know what you mean by that. I'm sorry, I'm not there day to day in the library.
we
What I'm
don't
asking is,
have
do we
anyone with that skill set at the
We
library.
don't have somebody in the library who could take minutes and type them?
Nope. They're good at reading bookshelves and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know, the Dewey Decimal System.
And what does it entail for minutes? Just to go back and watch it and to make notes?
I think that's what the last director did, was always look at the video and
Okay.
used it to write his minutes. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, we have, on the website, there are past minutes, right? Correct? Okay, so we can look and see what was all included. Okay. Very good. Okay. So this is kind of a skeleton budget, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, really, just the minimum of what we need to run the library, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the two budgets, Fund 426, that's our operational fund. That's the one where we're budgeting revenues of $1,423,860. And we're budgeting total expense of $1,337,300 for a surplus of $86,560.22. So to those numbers, we would take away the teen librarian of approximately $30,000, and we would add $40,000 to the revenue for the tax sharing.
Okay. So if, I'm okay approving it with those things, but then also at the August meeting, can we have a copy of the actual budget that we're saying that we're gonna approve today?
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, cleaned up copy essentially if we're
Yeah.
approving today.
Okay.
But citing those numbers gives the minute person so they know what we are. Plus these documents are all online, so.
So where is it that you were saying, can you just point that out to me? Sorry.
Let's see.
It's okay.
So right here, so this is the Fund 426, which is the operational. There's the expenses
Okay, so we'd subtract
and
out,
revenues,
how much did we have budgeted for the teen librarian?
30,000 roughly. And then we would add in 40 for that tax sharing. And the other budget, Fund 428, isn't as crucial. There's no salaries or claims on it right now, so we can wait for next time.
Okay. So we'll have an updated budget, but we can go ahead and approve the skeleton budget.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the adopted budget minus, you wanted to take out the teen?
Teen librarian,
Librarian.
add in the $40,000.
And add in the $40,000 from Solano.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then we're going to table the teen librarian position.
Well, can I ask a question about that?
Absolutely.
And maybe Jeannie, you can help with that. So in the past, I've had children going to the library for, years. In the past, we had a teen program where they had different things. I remember for teens coming in, and maintaining the teen, program in the summer. Who's done that in the past? Have we ever had a teen librarian?
I've been there, a little over 4 years, almost 5 years, and it's always been just one person, the children's librarian, whether it's toddlers or elementary or high school. It was Adrian before Jim are the two people I worked with.
Okay.
That's all I know about.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, I think I would like some further discussion and see the job description of the children's librarian, and does it include the teens librarian? Because if not, we,
Supporting documentation on the website.
I don't know if it is.
It is.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I have it pulled up on my phone.
But I would like to table it anyways.
Okay.
It would be pages 33 and 34.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Approval of the minutes from May 10th, 2018, regular meeting.
I don't think I was there.
I think everyone was there except Guy.
Oh. So what about the meeting you guys have in
Oh,
between?
is this special meeting?
Special meeting.
We still need to have a meet.
There weren't any announcements, though, I
Nope.
don't think, for,
And that'll be the next one we approve, the May 31st, we have to approve also.
so I'll move.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and the May 31st, there was nothing to report. There was no minutes. It was basically that I called the closed session, we came out with nothing to announce, so I'll entertain a motion.
So you actually have to have minutes, so we'll need to do that when.
But there are minutes.
Oh, there are minutes.
Yeah, there's minutes, but there's just nothing to report on the minutes,
Okay.
other than, yeah.
And I wasn't there, so I can't vote on the minutes, because that would mean that I was approving something I didn't know anything about.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to table that one until there was someone that was there.
It says you were present. I'm sorry,
Which is,
May 31st.
was it the one that I wasn't, what was the one that I wasn't there?
That was recent, more
Right.
recent.
So that one,
Yeah,
we
that
need,
was in June.
Yeah, we're not approving that one yet.
So,
sorry.
yeah, you were at the 31st one.
let me look at that one, hang on.
It's the last page on the, sorry.
Okay. I'll move approval.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And that's it, meeting adjourned. Does anyone have any announcements? Okay, all right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you turn that off? What was the date?